Hi everybody, this is Amy and welcome back to my channel. Today we're making peach sorbet mochi. Dessert, we need to make sorbet, and this is the easiest 3-ingredient thing you're ever going to make. I have 6 small ripe peaches here. If you have larger peaches, just use 4. We're going to peel these straight into a pot, and there is a reason for this. And you want to do it over the pot to catch any of the peach juice. Then we're going to put all the flesh into a food processor or a blender, again cutting over the pitcher to catch any of our juice. We're also going to pop the pits into the same pot as our peels, and we're going to put in enough water to completely cover this, put this on the stove, and let this boil for 30 minutes. While that's boiling, we're going to add a half cup of sugar, the zest and juice of 1 lemon to our peaches, and we're going to whiz this up until everything is broken down, just being sure to go in and scrape down the sides every now and again. Then we're going to pop this into a container with a lid and let this set up in the freezer overnight. Back to our peach water, we're going to skim off any scum that rises to the top, and after 30 minutes you're going to see this beautiful, gorgeous color. So we're going to take it off the heat, let it come to room temperature, and pop that into the fridge covered overnight. The next morning you can go in and strain out your peach water, and look at this color, it's so pretty. We can set that aside while we prepare an egg crate for our sorbet balls. So I'm just lining this with a little plastic wrap. I like using this over a muffin tin unless you have one of the mini tins, because the areas to pop the mochi balls into or the sorbet balls into is pretty small. It's not going to fall apart. You want to bring out your sorbet to warm up a little bit before scooping in little balls into each vessel, and I'm only doing 6 because I think my recipe only made 6 mochi. So just flattening out the top because we want a rounded top and a flatter bottom, covering that up and letting that set up back in the freezer. So after about an hour, we can go ahead and make our mochi. So to a small bowl, we're going to add 3/4 cup of glutinous rice flour. I'm using mochiko because it's gluten-free. Then we're going to add in 3/4 cup of our peach water, and look at that pretty color. And last but not least, we need to add in 1/4 cup of sugar, and we need the sugar to keep our mochi dough soft. But you want to mix thoroughly, making sure there are no dry spots before adding in your sugar and giving that a really good whisk. And we're going to steam this on the stove in a steamer for 15 minutes. You can also microwave this. If you do that, just cover up your bowl with plastic like I'm doing here, pop a couple holes in it, and put it on high for 5 minutes. But I'm going to steam mine because I don't have a microwave. So after 15 minutes, we're going to prep our workstation. We want to cover our work surface with 1/2 cup of cornstarch because mochi dough is extremely sticky. We're going to scoop out our hot mochi dough directly on top of this, and we're going to sprinkle more cornstarch on top. You also want to dust your rolling pin with cornstarch because this will stick to everything. Then we're going to start rolling this out to 1/3 of an inch thickness throughout, popping this onto a tray and sticking that in the fridge for 15 minutes to cool down. After 15 minutes, we can slide that off of our tray back onto our workbench. Now I'm cutting out rounds with a 3.5 inch wide bowl. I have cookie cutters, but none were big enough. Just dusting the edges, pressing down, and then using a fish spatula to help me pick this up because it is going to be sticky on the other side. Flip that over, sprinkle with a little bit more cornstarch, and then brush off anything that doesn't stick. Now to form our mochi ice cream balls or sorbet balls, we're going to take a small bowl, line this with a little plastic wrap. This is just going to help the process. Pop in our mochi round and then put in 1 sorbet ball, keeping the rest in the freezer. Then picking this up, and we're going to start pinching those edges together. This is why you wanted a flat surface on your sorbet, so you have a round and a flat edge. Just keeping this in the saran wrap, giving that a little twist, and forming our little mochi sorbet. Then we're going to put this back in the freezer for about an hour. Now this part is optional. I'm painting this with a little food coloring because I want it to look a little prettier. So brushing off any excess cornstarch and just going in and letting my imagination go crazy. Then putting that back in the freezer overnight. Now you do want to bring these out and let them warm up a little bit before cutting them in. I did not, so you can see how tough this was to cut through. You want a chewy mochi. But I'm going to go ahead and taste this anyway, and I'm very excited. The peach sorbet itself is tart. That peach is so prominent, and the lemon just boosts that peach flavor. The mochi dough is chewy and fun, and this is absolutely beautiful and absolutely delicious. But there it is. peach sorbet mochi. I hope you all try to make this in your home. Thank you so much for spending some time with me again today. I really appreciate every single one of you. If you liked this video, give it a like. If you loved it, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell if you haven't already, because I put out new videos every Thursday. Thank you so much again, and until next time, happy cooking.